Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the AP Podcast Show. Today's date is October 4th, 2023, and I'm your host, Aiden Pham. I hope that everyone is having a great week so far. I have a bit of a sore throat, so please excuse some of the pauses or sudden coughs that I may make throughout the audio recording. On today's episode, we will be discussing how does music influence culture, identity, and the formation of subcultures around the world. So let's get into it. I'm sure that many of us have had music influence our lives in some way. Perhaps we have that favorite music teacher. Uh, Maybe our parents play music at home. I know that some of my Korean friends are some of the best singers that I know. And sometimes when I go to KTV with them, I wish that I could sing like they do. But unfortunately, for me, myself, and most of my family members, we don't have too much music, kind of like musical talent in our family. But we do know, or at least I know, a ton of people who do. So maybe you can ask yourself sometimes this question, like, who do I know that has a musical talent? Has their music influenced me in some kind of way? Because I think that music is a universal language that transcends borders. It kind of resonates with the very essence of human culture or identity. Sometimes when you listen to a piece of music that you don't know how to describe it, but it's just able to touch your soul. Maybe the lyrics, maybe something about the way the singer, how they sing the song. I've had a song by NF. He is a rapper. That his music I feel really touches my soul, and that I can really connect to his lyrics. So let's kind of like go over what are some of the factors that influence cultural identity and formation of subcultures around the theme of music. So first we have cultural identity expression. Music is so cultural identity expression, for instance, kind of like traditional folk songs with their distinctive melodies and lyrics, often convey a unique cultural heritage of a region or ethnic group. Um, these traditional folk songs can also recount historical events, celebrate local traditions, and express the collective sentiments of a community. Another example of cultural identity expression would be like reggae music and Jamaican culture. Reggae music is very similar to Jamaican culture. It emerged in the late 1960s and has been a powerful tool for expressing the social and cultural identity of the Jamaican people. Iconic reggae artists, I'm sure many of you do know, like Bob Marley, use their music to convey messages of love, unity, and resistance against oppression. Songs like One Love and Redemption Song not only celebrate Jamaican culture, but also advocate for social change and justice. So these are just some brief examples of how does music affect the cultural identity expression. I'm sure maybe some of you can also think of some ways that it may be around your culture. How is this relevant to, maybe some of the artists that you know? How do they use music to express their culture? All right, number two, let's take a look at the next one here. Number two, preservation of tradition. Music plays a pivotal role in preserving cultural traditions and ensuring that they're handed down to future generations. Much kind of like a legacy, right? A legacy of musical traditions. It's like it acts as a living archive of ancestral knowledge and storytelling. Some examples of this, my apologies, would be Japanese traditional music, gagaku, So gagaku is the traditional court music of Japan, dating back over 1,000 years. It includes some ceremonial music, dance, and instrumental performances. Gagaku plays a crucial role in preserving Japan's ancient courtly traditions and cultural heritage. It continues to be performed in formal ceremonies and festivals, ensuring the transmission of Japan's cultural legacy. If you want to find out more information about it, you can also always just Google search what is Gagaku. It's Gagaku, and you may be able to see some videos and pictures about it as well. Next, number three, we have cultural fusion. So, music has been with us for over thousands and thousands of years now. Of course, there are so many instances of how it has fused together with different cultures, right? It the fusion often leads to the emergence of new and innovative musical styles. A classic example is the genre of jazz, which originated from the fusion of Africa, European, and other musical influences in the United States. Jazz showcases the power of music to transcend like basic cultural boundaries and create something entirely new. Even nowadays, like jazz is not the way that it was maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's always mixing together with new types of music, and in the future there may be a new genre of music based off of jazz. A different example of cultural fusion would be samba. uh, am I saying the right? Samba, I think it's samba, the samba in Brazil. Samba is a vibrant and uh, rhythmic rhythmic genre rhythmic genre. It has its roots in Africa and European musical traditions. In Brazil, samba evolved as a fusion of these influences, particularly in the Afro Brazilian communities of Rio de Janeiro. It became the heartbeat of Brazilian carnival and is a symbol of the culture's diverse cultural heritage. Sorry, it's a symbol of the country's diverse cultural heritage. Samba showcases how musical fusion can create a unique and culturally significant genre. I personally have never experienced samba myself, but I do know that I do hear about how samba just it's so energetic. There's so much energy in it, and that I think it's something that I would really want to try out. Maybe sometime if I ever take a trip to Brazil. All right, let's go to number four. So this is kind of like a point that comes back to the title of like how does music influence culture identity and the formation of subcultures. Well, number four is the formation of subcultures. So music can be used as a catalyst for the formation of subcultures. Groups of people who share distinct identities, values, and lifestyles. These subcultures often emerge around specific music genres. We got genres like punk, hip hop. We got elements of rap. And then also, like these type of musics have. Sorry, these type of subcultures that have been made based on certain music then challenge societal norms and offer alternative ways of living and self-expression, kind of like reflecting the transformative power of music on identity. Our most recent formation of subculture in terms of music would be the EDM scene. So if you don't know the EDM scene, sorry, EDM stands for electronic dance music. And around the subculture around electronic dance music is kind of based on rave culture. EDM is it's a form of electronic music and dance, right? And rave culture, the people that that celebrate rave culture are called ravers. And ravers share a passion for the music and a sense of community built around the EDM scene. They often adapt like this very distinctive fashion styles. They participate in the dance culture, and you know they uphold the values of peace, love, and unity and respect, which also stands for PLUR, PLUR, peace, love, unity, and respect, which then forms a very unique subculture within the larger music world, right? Um, I've also been to some EDM music festivals in the past. Even nowadays, like if there are always new EDM music festivals coming out. Even the old um, music festivals such as EDC, it just happened in China, and also it's also becoming much more relevant and kind of like back on track ever since COVID finished. Uh, I know that ravers they often tend to give um, candy, which is like the bracelets that are specially made, and it's kind of like a form of like showing your love and peace to each other. Like people would exchange candy as a form of friendship. They would exchange candy as a form of trade. So there's definitely a very unique subculture around it. Okay, let's keep going on. We got points number 5 now, which is countercultural movements. So with the formation of subcultures, there will also be countercultural movements such as let's say the rock and roll music of the 1950s. So the rock and roll music back in the 1950s, it was meant to symbolize rebellion against the conservative post-war era. Its energetic rhythms and lyrics about youth culture, freedom, and rebellion resonated with a generation seeking change. After the war, people just wanted peace, but so many things have changed and so many things have happened since then that not many people knew how to express themselves. So rock and roll was kind of like their way to just like rock out, right? And it gave voice to those who felt marginalized and marginalized about that they weren't able to share inside how they felt. And it also was able to reignite the social and cultural revolutions by challenging the status quo at that time. You know, punk punk rock also emerged in the around the 1970s, and it was a kind of like a countercultural movement as well. Um, Bands like I'm not sure if I'm saying their name right, the Ramones and the Sex Pistols. Um, Sorry if I like totally botched their names. I personally don't know these two bands very well, but back then they challenged mainstream music and societal norms. Um, Punk's subversive lyrics and fashion choices, including like torn clothing and distinctive hairstyles like the mohawk, kind of like symbolize a rejection of conventionally, uh, symbolize a rejection of what's the standard or what's the normal at that time, and gave rise to a rebellious subculture. All right, lastly, we got number 6, social and political activism. You know, music has always been an inspirational force behind countless social and political movements. Um, Songs can serve as kind of like an anthem that unite people and that articulate their demands and also fuel activism. Um, an iconic example of this is we have the song "We Shall Overcome," or sorry, the anthem "We Shall Overcome." It was the main anthem for the civil rights movement in the United States. This song, with its simple yet powerful message, played a vital role in rallying activists and expressing the collective determination to fight against racial injustice. Music's ability to invoke strong emotions and convey messages makes it a very potent tool for social change, advocacy, and solidarity across various causes and movements. Another example of this would be Nina Simone's Mississippi Goddam. So, also during the time of the civil rights movement in the United States, Nina Simone's song Mississippi Goddam became a powerful anthem against racial injustice. This song was a response to the 1963 murder of Medgar Evers and the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing in the Birmingham, Alabama. It not only conveyed the anger and frustration of the African American community, but also galvanized activists and expressed their collective determination to fight for civil rights, which are all very important to what the US stands for. So, as we conclude this journey of, how does music influence our cultural identity and subcultures, I think that we can all recognize the timeless significance of this art form. Music's ability to reflect and express cultural identities, preserving traditions while embracing change, is a testament to its enduring role in human society. Music has played such a huge role in so many parts of our lives, like, the one song that we can't forget. When we're at 3 years old, we learn the basic songs of like Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars, to, soon growing up to be a teenager. And for myself, when I was a teenager, I listened to a lot of K-pop, which then influenced my own identity in terms of like, okay, even though I never understood what the music or what they were, what the singers were saying, I didn't know what the lyrics meant. I still just enjoyed how the songs were composed. So, which goes to show that music maybe has nothing to even do with, understanding exactly what it means. But I'm sure that for everyone, they have their own reasons as to why they listen to music and how music gives them, the energy, or maybe the foundation of, maybe just living. I'm sure that some songs have saved people's lives, and have influenced and shaped their future generations. So if music has changed your life in some way, shape, or form, please leave a comment. Let me know how it has impacted you, and maybe you have a favorite song or something that has really, how would I say, like, if you didn't know that song existed, would you if you have never listened to that song, would you still be the same person you are today? I'm sure that some of us may have that one piece or that one song. So that is pretty much it for today's episode. So once again, thanks for listening. If you like it, please give it a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. And this is your host, Aiden Pham, and I'm out.